Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be split up into a whole bunch of bits and pieces of all of the things that we're going to be doing today. So stay tuned, it's going to be a lot of fun. This is the first stop of the day. It's about 7:30 in the morning. We just finished dropping off little Miss Alaska Prepper to her school. And we're coming to this new laundromat that opened at Fairbanks. And the reason we come here every once in a while is because we wash blankets and rugs and stuff like that we can't fit in our washer and dryer at home. So after this, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So stay tuned. And if you want to skip from spot to spot, just use the chapters function and that will allow you to skip to whatever part of the video you want to go to. Welcome. Let's get started. First things first, we have to feed the machine, ladies and gentlemen. We have to put some money in there in order to add funds into our card because these machines don't take dollar bills or coins. So in today's case, since we only have a couple of loads to do, we're going to add $45 to our balance of like $3 or so. And it's a pretty simple process. We just use these kiosks here and everything is pretty self-explanatory. I've never been here before. I'm like, man, that is so many washers and dryers in one spot. These are like 3 times the regular load size of a regular residential washer. That's what the 3X means. The ones that we use were 4X, like this one. And they have even bigger ones that are, I believe, 5 or 6X. I have to say that I'm very impressed because this laundromat is spotless. It's super clean, as you can see. My wife and I met someone who works here as well that services this area, and we agreed that the staff here is also very nice and helpful. Here are a few vending machines that they have in the area, and here we have a bathroom, which is what I came for. And look at this. It looks like you need a card in order to get into the bathroom. And I guess from an owner's perspective, I have to say that that's a pretty good idea to keep people out that are not there patronaging the laundromat. And these here are the bigger washers. You can see that these are 6X, but I think that they have even bigger ones. These machines are very simple to use. It's self-explanatory. Once you get here, you just load some money into it with your card. For this one, it's $10.80 per load. But all you have to do is just pick what warmth or what temperature you want the water to be. Press start and it automatically takes the money out of your card, and it's as simple as that. Now they do have other machines that are bigger, and obviously the bigger they are, the more they cost. I think the biggest one, which is a 9X, is like $25 per load. Now these bigger ones are $15 instead of 10 bucks. And it takes them about 25 minutes to get done, and then we'll come back and do it again with the dryers. And the dryers are just as simple as the washing machines. These work on 10-minute cycles and they charge you $2.67 for every 10 minutes that you put on it. So with this blanket here, from prior experience, my wife told me to put 20 minutes on it and it should come out nice and dry. So let's go on over to the truck and check in on Lulu because we had to bring her with us. And look at who came along, ladies and gentlemen. It is Lulu. I hate leaving her at home in a dog cage because I think that it scares her, even though we leave the other dogs with her. So what we're doing is whenever we have to go somewhere where we can actually bring her, because we're not going to be gone for that long, we'll go ahead and bring her. But if we go somewhere where we just can't take her, we leave her in the cage with the other 2 dogs, with Karma and Dog next to her. So she won't be that scared, but she has to get used to it eventually, but we're trying to break her in nice and slow. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I was able to arrange about 50 or 60 leftover turkeys from last Thanksgiving to buy them at a great price at 69 cents a pound. And then I'm going to turn around and bring it over to the food bank so we can start collecting turkeys for next Thanksgiving turkey drive. After that, we're going to go to Costco and we're going to load up on about $300 worth of
treats and stuff like that, you'll see what it is that we're going to take over and donate to the RCPC. AP, what'd you do? Hit the lottery or the jackpot or something like that? No, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw the video that I did where I said that this is my biggest payday prep of the year and that I got it for free, is that I received a really nice rebate check from my credit card. So we're just taking the leftovers of that rebate that we got after that payday prep, and we're going to go ahead and donate it in the form of turkeys to the food bank and some snacks and stuff for the kids, for the children at the RCPC in Fairbanks. And I hope that you come along, especially if you live in Fairbanks. That way you know how you can help the RCPC, which is the resource center for parents and children, where they help parents and children that need a variety of things. All right, you can come over here if you live in Fairbanks, or go over there to the RCPC, ask them how you can help, and I'm sure that they can find several ways that you can help, as far as bringing them a Lunchable to as far as maybe volunteering a little bit of your time. But I digress on that. After that, we're going to check in on the chickens, and I'm also going to go ahead and show you how I process all that beef that you saw me buy on that payday prep video, so that we can put it away so that it will last a long time in the freezer if we don't get to it anytime soon.
Woo, it's getting a little chilly, ladies and gentlemen. It's supposed to get back to the -30s for like the next 3 or 4 days or nights. So we're back from the laundromat. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our chickens, see if we got any eggs. Usually they don't give us eggs till little later on in the day, but we'll check in there anyways, and then I'll show you what I do to mix their food, what I use for their food. And here are the ladies. You can see that they're all looking pretty good. How you ladies doing? And it looks like we do have a few eggs, because we've got one over there that's laying down there. And since it's supposed to be getting a little bit cold for the next few days, I went ahead and turned the heater up to 3. And you can see that we have the water right in front of the heater so that it can keep that water from freezing. And there's Poppy right there. And here's our new alpha, Big Red. They're all looking good. And there's our eggs. We have a couple of eggs there that are fake, the ones that have the black marks on them. So it looks like today we got 5 as of now. And the reason, ladies and gentlemen, why we got a couple of fake eggs over there is my wife got them. And I'm like, why did you get them? And she said, well, because I felt sorry for them, because we go in there and take their eggs all the time. And at least with those fake eggs, they think that there's still some eggs there. So that's what they're there for. I do plan this year on hopefully hatching a few of them naturally, see if it works out or not. But we'll see how that works out. They're not going to like this, because I'm going to take away their food right now. And then we're going to go ahead and mix up a new batch of food and then fill this up and bring it back to them. Now this is the poultry food that we feed them. And they seem to like it pretty well. It's 20% protein. And what I'll do is I will pour this. This is what it looks like, little pellets. I will pour these in this bag right here inside of this can. And then I'll mix it in with some corn, some chicken scratch, or like a chicken treat, and also some bugs. That way they can have a little bit of variety in their food. Now, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this right here will last probably about a month and a half or so. And I didn't mix anything in, because what I'll do is just every time that I come and grab food from here, I'll try to dig to the bottom. And you see that gives them a pretty good mixture. And those bugs are pretty cool. They've got crickets in there. They got mealworms, along with a whole bunch of other variety of bugs. And then what I'll do is I'll just scoop these right into the food dispenser, and they like it just fine. It gives them a little bit of variety. That way they're not eating the exact same thing all the time. And that's in addition to the scraps that we give them from the house. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. They're all looking really well. They've done really good throughout the winter.
And one thing that I have to remind myself of after I get the eggs is that I have eggs in my pocket. Yesterday I was walking around the house for about an hour or so with the same jacket on, and I had a couple of eggs in my pocket that I forgot were there. They didn't crack or anything, good thing. And ladies and gentlemen, as my wife is actually mixing up some eggs for us to eat, here is our bounty for the day. I think I remember counting 5. We are inside Costco, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got a shopping list that we have to fill so that we can bring this over to RCPC. But after we get our shopping done here at Costco for RCPC, we're going to go to the commissary and pick up the turkeys for the food bank. One of these. We're going to grab one of these right here. Man, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there's way too many people here, and it's early in the morning. It's like, I don't know, it's 10:30 maybe, 10 o'clock in the morning. Gonna grab one of these right here. And we're gonna grab one of these. Now, ladies and gentlemen, understand that the stuff that we're getting is the stuff that they want over there, okay? Because I can already see a lot of people be like, oh, that's not good for kids. I understand, but this is the stuff that they request. And we are looking for goldfish, little bags of goldfish, individual bags. Guys, right here, 45. Because these bring 40 pouches, so that'll be 80 pouches altogether. And we are going to get, I've never seen these here before, but we're gonna get 3 of these. And we still have these small blocks of cheddar cheese. And here are the Lunchables. We are going to end up getting 10 of these because it's a pretty decent price. I think they're only 10 bucks a piece. And they each bring 6. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be buying any pinto beans for the RCPC, but look at this. Get them now. 20 bucks for 25 pounds. Remember, these used to be a little more expensive than that, and they actually went down a little bit in price. Great deal. And now we're looking for the little individual pizzas. And these come in boxes of 12. And we're gonna get, how many boxes? 6 boxes altogether, because these are actually a pretty decent price. Just a little over $1 a piece. And that's what it looks like there, ladies and gentlemen. So this ought to put a little bit of a dent, or ought to fill a few gaps in their freezers and their refrigerators over at RCPC. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the commissary. I'm not really going to do too much recording in here. I'll show you all the turkeys when I've got them in the back of my truck, because I'm kind of in a hurry. We got to get to the food bank and RCPC pretty quickly here. It's nearing lunchtime. I guess I can take a little video, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm walking back there. Wow, look at this. $30 for 18 count of Charmin. It doesn't look like the military are getting too much of a respite from inflation. And my wife just told me she remembers, and I do too, when these used to be 4 for $1. Now they're $1.10. Heck, I remember when canned goods used to be like on sale, was 10 for $1. And look at the stovetop, ladies and gentlemen. There's no longer any cheap stovetops, so stock up on it now if you want some for next Thanksgiving. And this is definitely worth mentioning. I remember, and if some of you that have been with me for a long time, remember when I used to do payday preps here in the commissary, these small containers used to be like $1.05. Look at that. And these used to be shy of $1 when they came out. Now they're well over $2, more than 100% on top of what they originally cost. And it's not just the commissary, ladies and gentlemen. This is everywhere. This is how it is everywhere. Look at, I remember when olives used to be actually cheap. Look at that. $8 for a jar of olives. This is actually a pretty good deal, because you're getting about the same amount of olives. They're just the small ones. You all remember when vinegar used to be $1 a gallon? Not anymore. I keep saying I'm not going to record anymore, but I'm just curious to see how much their oil is. So let's take a look at their quart. 1 quart 1.5 quarts, $6.61. Half a gallon, $8.70. Their olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, it says there, $13.97. They do have some canned vegetables, 88 cents for mixed vegetables, 89 cents for a can of corn. I remember when these first got here, I think they were like 44 cents. But ladies and gentlemen, inflation has only one way to go, that's up, and don't expect the prices to come back down. This is actually not a bad deal for today's prices, 99 cents for a can of black beans. But if you pressure can your own, you will save a lot of money. Now let's go get the turkeys. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a total of about 1,100 or so pounds of turkeys. It comes out to about 56 turkeys minus 64 turkeys. It comes out to about 64 turkeys minus one that we're going to be keeping. So we've got a great start on next Thanksgiving turkey drive with bringing 63 turkeys to the Fairbanks Food Bank. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at RCPC, and this is everything, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, that's not too bad. Look at this. That's not too bad at all. So we're gonna go ahead and drop this off, and then I'm gonna give Miss Ann a call so that I can meet her at the food bank so we can drop those turkeys off. This is a new building that was donated that's pretty much like a huge freezer slash refrigerator. It's like a side-by-side freezer and refrigerator, and then with a lot of warehouse space. And we're just waiting for Miss Ann to get here. But let me go ahead and show you all the turkeys that we got. Look at this. Excuse the mess. This is my wife's truck. And look at that. And that's not it. This is my Suburban. And we've got some boxes back here, and also we have some more back there. Now we're gonna go ahead and head home once we unload these, and then I'm gonna show you the last thing that we're gonna talk about and show and tell today, and then that'll be it. This here is one of the 3 slabs of meat that you saw me buy on my last payday prep, and this is how you can save a little bit of money. As you can see, it's not a terrible price for ribeye at under $12 a pound, but you do have to kind of process it yourself, and this is very simple. The main point of what I'm going to show you here is how you can dry brine your steaks. So as I cut my steaks off here, this one's actually a very nice cut that doesn't have a lot of trimming that needs to be done, so you are getting a good bang for your buck. First thing I do is I take it out of the packaging, I put it on my cutting board on some paper towels, and then I dab it dry. Then it's ready for me to cut into the pieces, however thick or thin I want them to be. The sharper that your knife is, obviously the better and the safer that it's going to be for you to be able to do this cuts. This is not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. All I'm doing now is I'm using Redmond salt to salt both sides. Don't overdo it because you can always add a little salt later on, but you can't really take it out if you put too much in. So now, dry brining is when you add salt to your steaks like you're seeing right now. And what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to go ahead and take all of my salted steaks. I'm going to go ahead and put them on one of these cutting boards or on both cutting boards. Make sure that they're separated so that there's a little bit of air gap in between them so that the air can circulate when you have them in the fridge. And then what you're going to do is kind of like dry age them for as long as you want. I usually dry age them for about a day or two until they're nice and dry, and then I go ahead and vacuum seal them and I put them in my freezer so that we can eat them whenever we want to. Now, what does dry brining do? What it does is it extracts the water from inside of the steak and then mixes it with the salt that you put on the surface. And then the water and the salt combine and get sucked back into the steak, pretty much seasoning the middle of your steaks. That way, when you go to use them, all you have to do is add a little bit of whatever other spices you want besides salt, and they're good to go and they're perfectly seasoned. And it also makes it really easy for you to vacuum seal because you're not contending with all of the moisture, i.e. all of the blood that comes out of the steak when it's fresh. And check it out, this is what it looks like a day after I've had it sitting in the fridge. You can see that there's not blood or anything pulled up on the cutting boards, that pretty much all of the moisture that was extracted by the salt got soaked back into the steak. Now these guys are ready for me to vacuum seal, put in the freezer, and enjoy at a later time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you got something out of this. I had a lot of fun doing this video and sharing with you all of the bits and pieces on one of my regular days. I hope that you had a good time or that you enjoyed watching it. Other than that, I hope that you have a great rest of your day. God bless every one of you. Thank you very much for all of your support. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.